Hello, everyone. My name is Nicholas Charles Soul, also known as the Soulman, and welcome to another monthly recap video. This time a little bit more on time with the month. So, for this month, it is a recap on July. This time, and like I said, this time on time with the start of the month. I'm a little sick, or post-sick, from having a bit of a cold from last Friday, which sucked, but a part of me thinks it was the fermented egg later down, but I'll get to that in a moment. But I will say July was a pretty good month. There was a lot of good stuff within it. So let's get on to the first important thing, and that would be the games. So the first game of July was I think a Hat in Time. I could be wrong with that. Let me look real quick because I'm doing this in real time. It was within July, so I was a little wrong on that. So during the start of the month, I did a Hat in Time, amazing platformer. I had finished it. I don't remember much from it because it's been a while, but and I didn't list it, unfortunately, but I had a wonderful time with that amazing 3D platformer, and would highly recommend that to anyone. But the one thing I did remember playing during the start of the month was Amori. This is an indie RPG, psychological horror, as well as a story-based game that was pretty fun. Like, I went in a bit uncomfortably because I'm not used to playing. Well, one, I'm not used to playing RPG Maker games on stream, and or in general, to be honest. And two, the whole like anime-ish inspired style kind of thing. So I went in kind of uncomfortably with that, and I came out enjoying it very much because the story that it told was a pretty good one. I had gotten the good ending or so. Like, I got two endings. From what I was told, there's a bit more than that, but I got a good ending and I got a bad ending. So, story wise, it was amazingly told. The way that everything was presented and the way that it was dialogued, as well as the little details from interacting with the various different people, both within the dream space as well as the IRL, or the real world, for the character, which I had named Dumbass in the game, but apparently his quote unquote official name is Sunny. But we got to do that with Amori and Sunny from seeing their story, and it was very well told on that. Gameplay wise, the RPG aspect of it, there was a bit of issue with like the overall like movement from place to place. Mostly because it always uses like the normal walk or the rush or whatever, like the speed walking. So I don't know why games do that. I guess because there are some obstacles within the game that require you to be either slow or fast, but within some of like certain movement within like the fast part can sometimes stutter within the way that you maneuver from left to right or up to down in certain patterns. But that's a minor issue. The only other minor issue is the system within the combat. So whenever you engage with an enemy within the RPG aspect, you have like this 4x4 or 2x2, sorry. This 2x2 of the or all four of the characters, and you have like this emotional based system, which I think was a really cool idea. Like, I think the way that it was system around like this rock, paper, scissors of these different emotions, like happy, mad, and sad. But my only problem with it is that it isn't as important, or at least within my playthrough, it didn't feel that very important to go from like one emotion to another at times within certain fights. So, like, for example, I don't know if I want to spoil this, but there's a later fight with Pluto that you have, and it was probably the hardest fight I've had to do within the game, in my opinion. And there are a few times that I actually use some of the emotional powers within that fight to sort of help me. But a lot of times you just stick with neutral because neutral is just a lot more easier to maneuver the combat around. So that's the only other minor issue that I've had with Amori, is basically just the way that the emotional system kind of is left forgotten within the game, at least within the gameplay wise. Like, that's the only other thing, but overall, it's a very good game. I would not suggest this to people who are sensitive to certain topics. Like, you could probably guess why from some of the psychological parts within the game, but if people are looking for a very good story of an RPG game and all of that, especially indie made, I would probably recommend Omori. But it was a very enjoyable game. So after that, I had played a new game, which I had announced within the previous recap video, called He Is Coming. And this was a title, that's the title of the game, but this was a game that I kind of scouted out for a long while, mostly because it's a roguelike type, or a pixel roguelike. I always scout those types of games out sometimes, but they're not always. One of the things that I have learned, and I will also get to the game after this that is related to it. There's one thing I have sort of like noticed within like my streams, as well as the VODs and all that, is that a lot of people don't always enjoy the roguelikes and sandbox games compared to the adventure and RPG games. But I'll get more into detail with that later in this video, but I enjoyed He Is Coming. There is some potential with this game, but it does have some of its issues, specifically within the main game. Like, there's a mode called King Mode or whatever, or King Slayer, I don't know. But it's like a PvP system within the game that is absolutely great. Like, I think it's probably the best asset to the game, especially with the like style of combat it has with its enemies and all that. But it's unfortunate that the base game struggles a lot more because of the certain like RNG of bosses that you get, as well as the way that you have to utilize certain items. Like, and I did see that there were like patches to this where you could get like extra health or something like that. But the problem I mainly saw with the game is mostly specifically the items that you have to use, as well as your overall damage. Like, damage is a bit of a struggle with this game, especially if you actually try and like max out all your damage or whatever. It still struggles with most of what you get within the base game, especially with one of the last dudes. It's annoying, but I'm sure at some point they'll figure something out within the patch. Like, I could suggest some ideas to it, like adding 2 extra slots or whatever for items within the start instead of the health. Like, the health does not matter. like if they changed from the health to the 2 slots, I feel like for myself that would be a good change, at least within the base game, not within the King's mode. King's mode is actually pretty goated, but in the base game, I feel like that would be a much better change because it would give people a lot more options with their items, as well as not having to drop it within within their playthroughs and all that. Because that's sort of what I felt while playing this game, is that it felt like I was very limited with some of the items, and most of the items that I dropped did not help or value into the builds that I would make later on. But overall, He Is Coming is a pretty interesting pixel roguelike. I would probably suggest it if they fixed those kinds of issues with the base game, but I would probably recommend it for the PvP aspect of it. But yeah, He Is Coming is a very good game. Now on to the next game, which is Palworld. Now this game has kind of consumed me a bit for the later part of this month. It's very addicting, and I can probably see why, because of like the creature collect aspect as well as the sandbox aspect of the game. There's a lot you can do within this game, but it can also mess with your focus as well. Like for myself, it messed it with my focus a lot with like the streams as well as the gameplay as well, like trying to balance those two out. But I think that was just a me issue within that. But the game itself has a lot of cool content, a lot of cool different creature designs. I think my favorite, personally, is probably the Dazzy design. The Dazzy design looks great. I also liked one that I caught recently, at least within like the VODs. One of the ones that I had caught recently was something called an Astragon or something. It's like a dragon type within the game, but it was called like an Astragon, which I had which I had immaturely named Astudon. But yeah, it was a cool creature design. But there are times where I'm going to be playing that in and off of stream, depending on the type of games that I complete later down. But again, that'll be something I'll get into detail more later on. But overall, Palworld is a very fun game, and I look forward to max leveling within that game as well. In or off stream. But after that was the game that I sort of started within the end of the month, which is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which was another game that I had said that I would play within the previous monthly recap video. It is something that I played just about 4 days ago, or I think 4 days ago. It was last Thursday, within today of the making of this video. But that game has been really fun. Like, they did a really good job with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Like, it was wonderful. Like, the pixel cutscenes, the combat. Like, my only issue with the game is the controls, mostly with controller. Like, with controller, there's a lot of different, like, button layouts, as well as, like, the way that you move within the game. It feels uncoordinated within the controller scheme. With keyboard, it's a lot better. Like, even though I get, like, a little pinky OCD with the shift key or the crit key, depending on what button was the roll. I think it might have been shift, but on keyboard, it's a lot better. It's certainly a lot better. But on controller, it's a bit more of a struggle, which is a little bit disappointing to me, mainly because I play these 2D platformers on like a bootleg controller. Like, I have it right here. Like, this is sort of like the controller that I use because I play on PC. I don't have consoles. So playing it on this has been a bit of a struggle for me. But once I switched to keyboard with this game, it was just good on, rest on. I did get some brain fatigue later on, which was unfortunate, as well as a little bit of cracking within my hands because keyboard gameplay for this kind of game. But it is also a game I'm probably going to be playing by the time once I start streaming on Tuesday for this month. By the time of this video and all that. And sorry if I feel a little exhausted trying to talk through all this. I'm trying to get out as much as the detail of August that I have done, as well as like trying to wake up today as well. But yeah, those are all the games that I had played within August. So that's a total of like 5 different games, which have been pretty good. Like, I'm happy with the games that I've been playing so far. And I look forward to the games that I'll be playing on August, which I will tease at the end of this. But outside of the games, I had played, well, it was hard to play this, but outside of the games, I did VDR time again, and this was with all the Phase Connect girls, assuming that is all girls, because of the way that video turned out, or that stream turned out. I had a little bit of rum during that. I regret getting it. I still have it to the side as well. This smoky ass rum that I did not like. But I'll be sure to get a better one for the next one. If that video does well. Like, if it does well, like, if it gets 20 or more views, then I'll do it again. But it was a very fun one. Like, it was very fun, and I used the same ranking system that I used within the previous one, which I feel like is a lot better for me. As well as a good way to, like, indicate these types of different VTubers. But if you haven't checked that out, check out that video. It's within the channel. And just gotta type VDR time or whatever. But yeah, it was a good stream. And outside of that, during some of the streams that I had done recently, I had tried different types of Asian foods, which I still have a bag of that I'll be trying within some of this month as well. But one of the things that I had tried that I instantly regretted was a fermented duck egg. Like, I'm sure you can find the thumbnail of it within my videos here, so I did not like that egg, and it was probably, and I feel like it was responsible for making me feel a little sick later on, but whatever. Hopefully the stuff that I try within this month won't get me sick, so I've been enjoying August very much. I had enjoyed August. Fuck me, my brain with all this. Doing this in real time as well as being sick is a bit of a mix, but whatever. But within July, I enjoyed it very, very much. So, with all of the content that I have done within July out of the way, it's time to get into the channel progression. So, by the end of this month, I had 88 Twitch followers, which is very close to 90, like another milestone. Maybe at some point I'll even reach triple digits. But, oh, sorry with the mic. But yeah, 88 Twitch followers, very good. YouTube subscribers, I've gotten 13, which is pretty low, but again, my channel is mostly a big VOD channel. Not so much with, like, the content, like the VDR as well as these videos. Like, for that I can see why it's very low, so. But I'm still happy that I got 13 as well. But yeah, for Twitter followers, I got 94, which is surprising. Which I am assuming is some of the scammers or bots that keep trying to flood in within my stream chats as well. I think the next time one comes over, I'm going to expose it in 4K within streams. Because I am so tired of it. I am legitimately so tired of them. But I'll get to that at some point. I don't know. But with Blue Sky followers, I had gotten 10 followers, which I think is the same as the previous month because no one uses that website. No one uses that website so much, even myself, so I'd be surprised if I got more, but whatever. Whatever. But yeah, that is the channel progression within the numbers of all that. Pretty good. I still haven't gotten affiliate yet on Twitch, which requires me to have live concurrent viewership within the streams, which is very difficult, especially with some of the games that I've been playing recently. Like, the thing that I had mentioned earlier is that one of the games that I struggle with, at least presentive-wise, is roguelikes and sandbox games. Like, a lot of the people who tune into that aren't very interested. Like, they were interested a little bit with Power World. I will say, though, that. They were a little interested in Power World, but with games like He Is Coming or recently Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, the new games, it's been kind of like whatever. And it's mostly just been myself, even the mods. Well, to be honest, a lot of my mods are within the UK, which is having a problem with internet policy or whatever. Privacy, not policy. It's been having a lot of problems with that over on the side, so that's probably why they haven't been able to tune in as well. So, to the UK, who's doing all that to my mods, fuck you. But within the normal, like, roguelikes and sandbox games, it can be a bit of a struggle for people to engage with or watch at times. But with some of the adventure games, like A Hat in Time and Amori, there's been a lot more people tuning in with that, so I'm probably going to stick with those games moving forward, or those types of games moving forward, because if I want to build the channel up a bit more, I need to get people that are interested in me playing those types of games, as well as, like, being able to push myself to play those games as well. But it also depends on what people suggest as well. Like, some of the games that I'm going to be hinting on that I'll be playing within this month is a suggestion from one of my viewers. So, I'm hoping more people tune in later on within that. So, yeah. Next up, the personal summary from the month. So, July, I had written all this stuff down on my notes and all this stuff, but July had been a pretty good month, a very great month with a lot of good games. I had also been working on the Soul Crab design, which I had teased within the previous month, and I am happy to announce, or I guess show within the video, that I have finished the Soul Crab. Like, this is the baseline design for the Soul Crab, which I will initially make into subscriber badges if I hit affiliate, as well as, like, commission this stuff later down. I'm not going to commission this until I have finished all the other stream characters, but I'm very happy to get this done. This was a lot of time and effort that I've had to do, especially aside with the streaming and all of that. I'm very happy that I got this done. So this is going to be the familiar icon for this channel on Twitch. So get used to it. But yeah, I'll be trying to think of ways to utilize this crab within the channel, but with that I'm very happy of, so yeah. And overall, July has been pretty fun with all of the things going on. It was a little bit of a struggle with Pal World and some of the roguelikes that I've been playing, but besides that, great month. So yeah, that is all of July. So I guess all that's left is to tease what I'll be doing in August. So speaking of the drawing designs for stream characters, within this month I will be working on a new stream character, one of the 6 that I had mentioned. So this month is Lydia Caddell, which is spelled Kaddel. I'll be working on her. This is the first time I've actually worked on a female character as well, like drawing and all this other stuff. But because I've gotten her story figured out in my mind, all I have to do is just graft her within visual design and all that. And hopefully I get her done by the end of the month. I don't know if I will, but it might take more. I don't know, but it's going to be a wild adventure with her. But yeah, that's the drawing for that'll be a work in progress for me within the August month. But depending on how, and again, depending on how well the previous VDR times video does on the channel, I'll do another one. But if it doesn't do well, then I'm probably going to stop. But outside of the games, that's what I'll be doing. But inside, the games that I will be teasing that I'll be playing within this month, first off will be the continuation of Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, because I had just started that within the end of last month. I do plan on trying to finish that game as best as I can. It's a difficult game. It's a difficult game, but I'll do my best to try and complete it. After that, I will be playing a game that is suggested from a viewer called Undertale Yellow. From what I'm told, this is a fan-made game of Undertale, and I've heard good things from my viewer about it, so I figured I'd try it out. Like, if I can make it work within the stream, I'll try it out and see how it is. After that, I did hear news of a supposed release date for Shantae Risky's Revolution. So I had played all the different Shantae games besides the first one because they didn't have a way to emulate it on Steam, unfortunately, but I had played all the Shantae games on stream, and I did say within that one that I would play Shantae's Risky's Revolution if it comes out. And apparently it might come out within this month, so after I finish Undertale Yellow, I will likely play that game next. If not, then I will be playing a game called One Shot. I don't know much about this game. It's been recommended with the Amori games as well as Undertale and Deltarune and blah blah blah. Those kinds of like adventure RPG likes or whatever, but that I will be playing next. And again, if Shantae's Risky's Revolution does not come out before after I had played Undertale Yellow or intend to finish it, then I will likely play One Shot and then Shantae if it releases later on within this month. But yeah, those are the 4 games that I'll most likely be playing within this month and tease within this video. The potential games that I could play within this month, depending on how fast I beat everything, will likely be Pal World, in a way, just to show some of the stuff that game has, even though I play that in and off stream from the previous month. There will likely be some Pal World, I don't know, but Other potential games that I could play is something called Doki Doki Literature Club, Risk of Rain 2, and Darksiders 1. Darksiders 1 is a very curious game for me because it's something that I've seen when I was younger, many, many years ago, but I had never played that game. Same with some of the other games of that, like Doki Doki and Risk of Rain 2. Like, I have never played that, but that's one of the games that has interested me the most within the three potential games. So I don't know when I will play that at some point, but it all really depends on the progress that I have with the four games that I tease. So, yeah. So that is everything within this video. Or within what is upcoming with August. So, it sucks that I have to make this sick, but regardless, I enjoyed July. I have a good feeling about August as well. I feel like this will be a pretty good month as well, especially with a lot of the traction as well as the momentum I've been feeling, especially with the stream character progression and the games that I've been playing on stream. I have a good feeling about August, and I hope to enjoy it a lot. So, with all that said, I think that is everything, and everything that I have to say. So, without further ado, I hope you all enjoyed the Soulman video of the monthly recap. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to all the followers within my Twitch channel. Please be sure to check that out within the links in the descriptions below if you want to. And for this type of video, I will see you all within the beginning of September. But if you tune into the streams, I will be streaming on Tuesday from the release of this video's time. So, thank you all very much, and I will see you all on Tuesday within stream, or within the video within the start of September. So that is everything. Bye-bye.